sitting home all day. They're in isolation. There's no one to talk to. And they're deteriorating. They forget to eat. They forget to go out. And when people are depressed, the brain is deteriorating because they're not interacting. They don't talk. So socializing becomes a I will never have that problem. Amen. Mother Joe, will I ever have that problem?
No, Master Prophet.
You know your son, don't you? Do I love socializing, Mother?
No, Master Prophet. You were socializing from a little boy. Yes.
And they said that the number one area of the brain is faith. And I says, this is something else. And he says, and they're going to bring out, there's a study that's being done, and this guy was written up in Time magazine, had a very extensive article. He wants to come in and talk to the prophets, because I'm going to tell you something else he did. He's out there. You can look at him, you can tell you can tell genius is, because we went out, we ate together and everything. He's traveling. He's out there. I said to him, you know what, when we get older, we're sleeping less. I said, how many hours the brain needs to actually sleep? He says, well, I said, why do we sleep why do we sleep less when we get older? I said, I only need about 4 hours of function on. He says, that's the brain deteriorating. He says, you're getting ready to die.
Oh,
I said, I don't buy that. He says, really? He says, I was doing all kind of, cancel, out the door. But he says that because when the brain, as a baby, you're sleeping all the time.
Right.
The brain is young. He says when you're sleeping less.
The reverses. Oh, God.
Now, again, this is a person dealing with,
Science.
Okay. So there's some things I like, there's some things I like, okay. I didn't like that part of his experiment. Okay, but that's what he claimed. He says, we get ready to die. He said, you're dying. He says, I'm dying. I'm almost near dead. The brain is not, Well, anyway, he went on further. He did another experience and another experiment. He did an experiment on the brains of different people of different faiths.
It's interesting.
It's documented. I have it in my book upstairs. And he did experiment on the brain of a Baptist, the brain of the Methodist, a Pentecostal's brain. And looking at the different patterns. And this has to do a lot with faith, because he says they're getting ready to come out with in the healthcare industry, how many companies have been selling placebos? And people are getting healed from the placebo because they're getting ready to reveal that these medicines that they've been advertising or taking had nothing in it. And people were getting healed from it because of their faith in the medication.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And he was talking about that being one of the highest functions of the brain. So I thought that this might be something interesting. Okay, continue on, Prophetess Kelly.
Number 4, revise your vision of your day and resolve to apply that new vision when such trouble comes your way in the future.
Yes. And this is great. Oh, good. I'm glad you was bringing out that, Brother Carlin. Because we went into the thing about the theta, beta, delta, alpha, and going into these areas. Because I was talking to him. He has mastered certain things. I told him I wasn't there yet. I took classes in this. But he does things where he gets, they do surgery. He goes into deep levels of meditation. He says he can go into levels of meditation almost to the place, because he says that's how he controls his blood pressure. He lowers it himself through meditation.
Yep.
And when he gets ready to have any kind of work done on him, like dental work, he lowers it and go into the theta state of consciousness where we've taught and slow down those brain where he does not feel no pain or anything. He's been doing work in this area for years, and this is what he does. He works with the brain. We're only using maybe 3 to 4%. They said Einstein just used about 8%. 92% of the human brain is undiscovered. We have not even begun using it to the magnitude. And this here, this could be very powerful. Okay, continue reading.
Every time you do this, you change your mind. You revise the way you think and implant the seed of a fresh vision of yourself in your consciousness. The I must become the doorway into the mind.
Okay. I want everyone to type in right now, the I must become the doorway into the mind. Okay, read on.
See with your mind's eye. See in your consciousness what your world and future can become. See it as though it has already come to pass in your material experience. The process of revision can be challenging because it forces us into our own private hell, the awareness that we have been denying God and thus denying ourselves. In the end, revision is about taking the day just past and reimagining it in a way that brings it into alignment with your overall divine vision of how you want your world to take shape. In this process, it all begins with thought and speech, so you must learn to govern your tongue. Never speak of anything in your day past as inevitable, or you were setting that behavior in stone for yourself.
Good. So that means you got to change it in your mindset, or you set it in stone. And much of our past haunts us because we set it in stone instead of revising it. Okay. And therefore my people perish for a lack of what?
Knowledge.
And without a vision,
The people
perish.
perish.
the people perish. So you will perish in that area until you get a vision of the desired state of mind. Okay, continue reading.
Seeing the world through your physical eyes leave only a trace residue of the ugliness and pointlessness that can seem to be all around us. But when you see with your mind's eye and reshape the day according to your imagination what it can become, you create that paradise in your mind. Heaven does not exist outside of yourself.
Uh-oh. I want everyone to type that in right now. Heaven does not exist outside of yourself. Heaven does not exist outside of yourself. Read on.
Everything you experience comes from your mind and imagination. Therefore, you are the source of everything that happens in your experience, good and bad.
Good. Okay, now I want everyone to type in right now, I am the source. See, this is where you start taking responsibility for your own life. I am the source. What would you say about that, Prophetess Cade?
Meaning, Master Prophet, that everything starts with me and it ends with me. I'm a creator, even in my imagination. What I sit and meditate on with my thoughts, I'm creating. So anything that I'm thinking about, I can't say someone outside of me did something to me, but I did it to myself. That's why knowing yourself and being real with yourself is very important. Speaking truth to power, because everything starts with you as the source and it comes back around and it ends with you.
Amen. Mother Jordan, what would you say about that?
Yes, I am the source. If you're not the source, I'm telling you are out, because you must go within or either do without. Whatever's on the inside of you, that's what is going to draw to you. You're the source. You're the source. You'll look. When you say, if you're not the source, then you're looking outside of yourself. You're separating yourself from God, really.
My goodness. Yeah, Prophet Kelly.
Master Prophet simply means that I'm the supplier of everything that I need, want, or desire.
My goodness.